Well, I've had this wash machine, this Lady Kenmore, and the dryer for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that. And it started where it's shaken and what I call walking across the floor. So I need to look at it. First thing, of course, is always unplug them. You can't get shocked if they're not plugged in. Now you can see that tub there is leaning towards the front. And so I got on YouTube and watched some videos and found out how it's constructed. And it's got a hanger from each corner, and that spring there goes on the bottom, and the tub, what I call the tub, they call the basket, fits on top of that spring right there, and then that little bent part fits up to the top and holds it in place. And you get four of them, and you got a balancer with four of them, and then when it spins, that takes the vibration out, keeps it from walking all over the place. So I had the wrong setup in my head. I thought there was some kind of a big bearing down in there, like on a track hoe or something that spun on, but it's simply those, and that's where I was pushing down there. That's the part that takes the vibration out. Now this is pretty old, so I'm just using a screwdriver, and if you had a real nice one, you'd want to have something a little neater so you don't chip your enamel off of it, because these washers are tough. But then you got to slide it to the front out of the clips, and there's a couple of positioning clips on the back, and I had to take those off to be up there. That's them right there. Had to take those off. Once those are off, the top will slide forward and come out of the holding clip. There's a holding clip like on a door panel on a car. And so I think I must have had the camera turned off. Anyway, it popped off there. And now this is kind of heavy, and what I had to do now was go and put the clip back on loose to keep the back end from falling off, because it wanted to fall off in the floor back there. So put the clip back on, and then you gotta hold it up with something to keep it from falling on your hand. This sucker is sharp. It's got more sharp edges than a Gillette razor blade. It will cut you bad. So you lift that hanger up and squeeze that, push it down, and it will flop out. It's not complicated. It just might be a little bit stuck right there. And I got two of them on it. Well, actually three. One is completely gone, and so I got three on, so it's held pretty nice there. And the back two were not a whole lot of problem to get on. There's a hole down at the bottom, and you drop that thing down and slip it out of it, and then it'll come out like that right there. And then that's the old one right there. Now this kit I bought has the new cups. There's a cup that sits in that hole, then that retainer goes on it, and that's there's a cup there. So I think that might be the old ones, and there we go. There's the new ones, brand new. It comes with the kit, and you slide that in that hole, run the hanger from the bottom up. It'll come through the hole down below in a big piece of plastic. The camera had a little trouble focusing down in there, but that's where it's hooked up down there. And it should straighten. There we go. You can kind of see it now. And that fits in that slot down there. Then you slide that piece of plastic there down on top of it once you get it in place. Now right here, this one was easy here. It went on really nice. There's your little hook thingy. And there's a second one on the others. Both these did pretty good. They were not bad. It's the front pair, because there's only one holding it, so you've got the full weight of the tub when you mess with it. Now, if you got all four of them on there and you do them one at a time, it probably won't be too bad. But if you're impatient or nervous or don't like doing this stuff, you might get some help, because it's a lot of sharp edges. Now here is where I figured out a way, for me anyway, to pull the tub up. Got a little strap here, and I'm pulling on the tub and then just tighten that down. There's the gray kitty down there underneath inspecting my work on the right side at the bottom. So pull that up, and you can't get it perfect, but there, if you get a long pair of needle nose, you check these long needle nose I got out here, and you use them. And then what I did was I took the old hanger and hooked onto the new hanger, and as you can see there, that's the old hanger in my left hand, and I'm pulling on the new hanger underneath, and then I got that big pair of long stem needle nose pliers right there. Hold it up and then slip that retainer in place, and don't get your fingers in there, because it will take the end of your finger off. I'll tell you, that is a lot of pressure on that thing. That tub basket is fairly heavy, actually. And you can see those that big long pair of needle nose I got. I think I got those from Harbor Freight, a set for, I don't know, $6 or $8, worth $1 million. Oh, that's a wonderful tool right there. So here I'm on the last one there, getting started on it. Not quite sure what I'm doing there. I might be trying to get the old one out. That's entirely possible, because this tub down at the bottom down there, all that weight is on that wire. So you do not want to get your fingers in there on the off chance that it would slip, and it would literally take the end of your finger off. So there's the new one there, I believe. We'll see here in a minute. Okay, so you slip the new one up from the bottom. There's a hole down there in that plastic. You slip it up through that. And then what I did, I took the hook and hung it on the top of the tub up there. So that must be... Okay, that was the old one. Here we're going to run the new one through the hole, and then reach around and grab it with the other hand and just hang it up there. There's no pressure on it until you try to go through that hole. And if you got the old one to hook into the hook and pull on it, and then a pair of pliers to force it up a little bit more, you can get the retainer in place without a whole lot of trouble. Biggest problem on this thing is the sharp edges. Now if you look at the bottom, you'll see a jug down there, and I've got 3 or 4 jugs of white vinegar full underneath in case it would fall. That would break some of the stuff, not break my foot. So there we've took the strap off right there. Just an old standard $5 strap. And now we're going to tip it back up. These are heavy. I mean, seriously. And you do not want to get it going and fall with it, or have that top fall on your arm. It can cut you pretty good. And you don't want to get underneath it, or you might be like the guy with that coin machine on the Walt and Jesse show, when they were trying to rob that change machine there and fall on your head and mash you. Now I've got a fluorescent light underneath that lid holding it up, and I know it can't fall on me and cut my arm open with that. Now you can see the tub, it's in balance now, it's doing good. I'm going to take our thing out that was holding the top up so it wouldn't fall down and chop my fingers off or something, and take it down. I'm going to slide it back in place, and you've got to pull those brackets at the back, those 2 brackets, off again to be able to pull the front far enough to slap it back in place. So you take those off, snap it back in place, then put the brackets back on. And we're going to test it out here now and see how it's doing. Got to plug it in and get the water turned on. It's not a real bad job, but it's a little tricky. I've done a lot of stuff on heavy equipment and light equipment and trucks and forklifts. So, but these appliances are kind of a new world. You gotta watch your fingers. But there it went on, and here it's done. We're going to look at it and see what happens here. See if the load is spread. It didn't move any in there. It's all spun out nice all around the edge. It did not move a fraction of an inch. while it was washing or spinning out. And this is a heavy-duty washer, an old heavy-duty one. It's got some spin to it, I'll tell you right now. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Be safe out there.